A monster week 8 of games, and our celebrity guest picker segment, Locked On SEC, starts right now.
You are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what's happening, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. It's great to have you guys along on today's show. We'll get you set for a monster slate of games here in SEC Week 3 and our celebrity guest picker segment. I'm Chris Gordy. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Shout out to our everydayers. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, covering your team every day. And hey, reminder to check us out on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network, broadcasting daily across Alabama, Louisiana, and Mississippi. 11:30 Central daily. Hey, today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download FanDuel today. All right, let's dive into it as we take a look at the betting lines for this week in action, according to our friends at FanDuel. I'll start with LSU at Vanderbilt. If I'm a betting man, if I was going to be placing some bets on this one, I would take LSU plus the points. FanDuel's currently got LSU as a 2.5-point underdog. I just think Vanderbilt, look, all the money's been coming in on them. I think this game means a lot more to LSU than it does Vanderbilt. If LSU loses this one, they are really behind the 8 ball, because then you're being asked to run the table to potentially make the playoff. 9-3 maybe could get them in, but 10-2 we know is kind of the bar. And goodness gracious, they still have a road trip to Tuscaloosa, to Norman, home game against A&M. This is a must-win for LSU and Brian Kelly, so I'm going to take LSU plus the 2.5. How about Oklahoma at South Carolina? As much as I want to say South Carolina turns it up, I just wish this was a night game at Williams-Brice. If it was, I'd be taking South Carolina, but it's an early kickoff. I'm going to go with Oklahoma. I think John Napier, maybe he's not 100%, but maybe 60, 70% John Napier, I think, gets it done. I just don't trust that Oklahoma defensive line against South Carolina's offensive line. I think Oklahoma's defense will wreak havoc in this one. So I'll take it OU minus the 5.5. Maybe they only win by a touchdown or 10, but I think that's good enough for the cover. How about Texas A&M at Arkansas? As much as I had an A&M friend talking me into this will be an Aggie blowout, I just don't think that A&M, I don't know, call me crazy. I think this is their first true road SEC game of the season. I think Arkansas keeps it close. We saw Bobby Petrino and Arkansas keep it close in Knoxville last week with Tennessee because their offense did enough. So I'm going to roll with Arkansas plus the 7.5. Maybe A&M wins by 7. Maybe they win a shootout. Maybe it's like 42-35, something like that, because the Arkansas defense is still absolutely abysmal. How about Ole Miss at Georgia? I just feel like Georgia's defense woke up last week in the second half against Auburn. Granted, Auburn's got their problems, but to shut out Auburn in the second half, hold them to just 50 yards of offense in their house in Jordan-Hare, I think Georgia's defense is ready for the challenge. Ole Miss, great story so far. I feel like clock strikes midnight on Trinidad Chambliss and the Cinderella story. I feel like he comes back down to earth, and Ole Miss's offense scores a couple touchdowns, but not enough. Georgia wins somewhere, I want to say, I think like a 27-17, something like that. So I like Georgia to cover the 7.5. How about Tennessee at Alabama? Look, this is one where Alabama's been so good this year. I do think Alabama wins the game, but I feel like, man, if you're giving me over a touchdown on Tennessee, if I can get them plus 8.5, I think I'm going to take Tennessee plus the points. I think Alabama wins. I think this is a score fest early. I think Tennessee has some success in running the football, Deshaun Bishop and company. Look, Tennessee is the top 5 offense in the country right now. They will get their yards. To me, it's about turning those drives into touchdowns and not settling for field goals. So I think Tennessee will score some touchdowns. I think Ty Simpson and Alabama will be awesome. I don't trust Tennessee's defense. So another one that's like maybe a shootout. But, maybe Bama wins 35-30. I don't know, something like that. But give me Tennessee plus the 8.5. And then the last one on our betting lines, Mizzou at Auburn. Again, this is one where I had an Auburn fan said, wouldn't it be so like Auburn to put it all together this week and Hugh Freeze get a monster win over a top 25 team? Yeah, I mean, look, our guy Zach Blackerby was on the show earlier this week. He said those last 3 games that Auburn just lost preseason, he picked them to lose. And then he predicted Auburn to win out. And obviously that includes winning the Iron Bowl last week of the season. But this is where, I mean, look, if Auburn can start to figure it out, if Hugh Freeze gets his head out of his butt and Jackson Arnold starts to perform well, yeah, I could see Auburn maybe doing that. But I'm not betting on it. If I'm going to betting, I think Mizzou bounces back from the tough home loss at Alabama. I think Ahmad Hardy runs for a bunch of yards. And I think Mizzou gets the win on the Plains at Auburn. More on that in just a second. But first, the 2 other games that we didn't have on the board here. Texas at Kentucky. Again, I just feel like Kentucky is Mark Stoops, dead man walking there. So feel like Arch Manning, this might be a stat filler game for him. Throws for like 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we go, oh, look at Arch. He's he's starting to get better here. Texas wins 2 in a row. Get that ground game going with Trey Wisner. So I would take Texas minus the points there at Kentucky. And then the other one is Mississippi State at Florida. That line's been about 10 and a half at FanDuel. Again, a lot of people thinking Mississippi State upset special here. It's a lot of points. If I was betting, I would bet that Florida looks better at home in the swamp with DJ Lagway. Last time they were there, they pulled off the upset over Texas. Didn't look as great defensively at A&M last week. But I think the betting favorite here would be take Florida at home to cover those points. But Jeff Lebby and the upset special, a lot of people think perhaps that could happen. And if it does, Billy Napier will not be the head coach on Monday morning. And that's the big other big topic I wanted to get to here is, will this be his last game in Gainesville? Certainly could. There's a report that if he loses to Mississippi State, he'll be done. And then I've had somebody else tell me, even if he wins, they could be done because Florida's going into their bye week after this. And if you think he's, you're going to fire him at the end of the season, why not just rip the Band-Aid off now? Florida's 2-4, 1-2 in the SEC. So that will be one to watch this weekend. And then the other one is Hugh Freeze, as Auburn sits 3-3 on the season, but 0-3 in the SEC. And if they lose to Mizzou and they drop to 0-4 in the SEC, 3-4 overall, the track record the last couple of years, it's not been great. Maybe Auburn decides to pull the trigger, and Auburn and Florida could come out of this weekend joining Arkansas and Penn State as some of the big job openings in college football. And so, look, it'll be we'll have plenty to talk about here on Locked In SEC if that's the case. Look, are the odds that they both get fired this weekend? Probably not. Mark Stoops is the other one to watch at Kentucky as they sit at 2-3 overall, 0-3 in the SEC. If they drop to 0-4 in the SEC, 2-4 overall, does do the big wigs there in Lexington decide to make a move? I don't think so. It doesn't sound like they would do it just yet, but it does seem like this is going to be the last season of all 3 of those guys in the SEC. And like we said, we already saw Sam Pittman get let go. So we'll have an ode and a tribute to any SEC coach that does not survive the weekend. But look, playoff hopes on the line for a lot of teams. It's an important weekend for Georgia. It's an important weekend for Ole Miss. It's an important weekend for LSU. I think Alabama would be okay with a loss. You just don't want to take a second loss here, particularly to the rival against Tennessee. And I think a lot of Bama fans are going to be bringing their cigars over to Tuscaloosa. So there you have it. Those are our picks going into SEC Week 8. Man, it should be a absolutely fun one, and hopefully we have a lot to react to. We'll have our winners and losers of the weekend coming up on Monday here on the show. All right, when we return here on Locked On SEC, our celebrity guest picker segment. You do not want to miss it. It's been a lot of fun every Friday throughout this college football season, and we'll bring that to you coming up next right here on Locked On SEC. Hey, it is almost the weekend, and it's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on Who Delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving more every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most, so let's break it down. And for this week, we're going to go with Ty Simpson and his performance for Alabama in the win over Mizzou. He delivered in a big way, making some big passes, particularly one on 4th and goal. When the pressure was on, he came through, no hesitation, no delay. And if you've been watching week after week, performance wasn't a fluke. Ty Simpson is on a streak. And just like Ty Simpson delivers for Alabama, DoorDash delivers your Saturdays with DoorDash streaks. You can save every Saturday you order, stack it up all season, and you could save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order this Saturday, keep the streak alive, fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply, promo period through 11/18. DoorDash streaks. Go check them out this weekend. Hey, when the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. Over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting on projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. If you need parts fast for a project, Supply House, they have next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. The part finder tools and 3D schematics, they can save you hours on jobs where every detail matters. Their Trademaster perks like priority shipping, dedicated support, make the whole process smoother. Join the free Trademaster program today, and you're going to score some serious perks like priority shipping, lowest prices, and a dedicated support line. Visit supplyhouse.com, sign up for free, and use our promo code SHCollege5. Get you 5% off your first order. At supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. Run along here, Locked On SEC, in our favorite segment every Friday here on the show. It is time for our celebrity guest picker segment, and every week we bring you somebody. We've had a former American Idol winner. We've had former NFL players. I mean, we've ran the gamut of different celebrity guests that we've had, and our guest today is a guy who just spent all summer long in the Big Brother house, part of Big Brother Season 27 on CBS. He's the pride of Wallace, South Carolina. He himself is a college sports podcaster, host of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will, and he is Captain Will himself, Will Williams from Big Brother 27. Will, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm blessed, bro. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
It's awesome, man. It's funny. We watch Big Brother every summer, my wife and I always look for there's always an SEC flavor. There's always somebody with an LSU or a Tennessee sweater. And as soon as I saw you, I was like, wait, that's not the guy who does the South Carolina podcast, is it? And sure enough, it was. So super cool to have you on there, man. And I don't know why it is. It just seems like a lot of SEC folks always on there. Lauren was wearing her LSU sweater. And
yeah.
Is there talk in the house about SEC fandom and that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, because Lauren LSU, and they allowed her to wear her LSU sweater. They took all my Carolina gear because of the trademark, but it's okay. It's okay. They took it away. And then also Catherine. Catherine is a USC alum. So we had some flavor. We were doing good. And then Zach was a Georgia guy. So we were all over the place. We had a good time.
You are a diehard South Carolina women's basketball fan. I got to ask, has Dawn Staley reached out at all?
Yeah, I shouted her out one time. We was doing an eviction, and I shouted her out. And then I left the house. I got evicted from the house, and the show was over and everything. And then people told me, like, Dawn, talked about you in the interview, and she started following me on social media. So I was like, yeah, thank you, finally, girl. So I appreciate that. And I've been, rocking with Dawn since I guess 1992. So I go way, way, way back following Dawn's career. So I've met her a few times at games and such, but I felt like that was the opportunity for me to shout out not only women's basketball, but shout out South Carolina women's basketball while you have 4 or 5 million people watching at the same time. So I got fussed at a little bit by the producers for doing it, but it's all good.
It's super cool. And she made headlines this week saying, hey, the talk of, will there be a female NBA coach one day? And she put it out there. She said, hey, I'm here. If anybody wants to call me, I could be. You think she would have great success as the first female NBA coach one day?
For sure. I believe in Dawn Staley, and I believe that she's one of the best coaches, not just female coaches, but I believe that she's one of the best coaches in the country. And if given the opportunity, which I believe she will be given the opportunity, I believe Dawn Staley will be the first NBA head coach for some franchise. It's just a matter of time when the NBA actually takes that leap. And it's so crazy in 2025, we're talking about taking a leap to allowing a female coach to coach the quote unquote the best players in the world. But I believe that she would do an amazing job, and it's just a matter of time. She will be the first NBA head coach by a female.
It's and look, she don't put up with nothing. So that I think she would have great success. That's the big thing. Don't get pushed around. She's
She
got
won't.
the attitude.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: Will you get?
Oh, I was just gonna say that you have to have that attitude when going, because you're the first. So you're going to be the first, and you're going to be judged accordingly. She made a comment in reference to what happens when the female coach loses 5 games. Is it you judged by the female losing 5 games or the head coach losing 5 games in a row? So she would be judged on a different set of rules, but I believe she can do very well.
Let me ask you this: you get out of the, and we'll talk football in a second, but you get out of the Big Brother house. Chloe Kitts, we find out, has a season-ending injury. Brutal news for the Gamecocks. What did you make of that?
That was so sad. I woke up that morning and I saw, I always got to check the phone, see what's happening. And I saw the tweet that was made on either Twitter or Instagram. I can't recall which one, but it was heartbreaking. And the first thing I thought about was her parents, because I've met her parents before games and such. And being a parent myself and having 3 daughters, I know the hurt that's going on with their family. And with Chloe going into her senior year, and she was going to be amazing this year. It's really tough. It's really tough for her. And obviously she's like last time I checked, she's like a first round projection to go to WNBA or a high second round. So she can and will go to the league, but she was going to have a tremendous season and close out her season possibly with another national championship appearance or national championship title. It's just so hard because she's such a great kid.
Yeah, we'll certainly see, hopefully good things for her down the road. The matchup I've absolutely come to love in women's basketball, Will, is Kim Mulkey at LSU versus Dawn Staley at South Carolina. Just massive, I don't know if I'd say like massive egos, but just confidence in themselves. And it's turned into such a fun matchup the last couple of years. They play in Baton Rouge this year, Saturday, February 14th. And Malaysia Fulwiley going from South Carolina to LSU just adds a little bit more of a rivalry here. So, man, that's going to be a spicy one.
That is going to be the game of the year. I mean, February 14th, 8:30 p.m. on ABC. That's unreal. You got the hometown girl, Malaysia Fulwiley. It is you cannot write a better script right now. We know the back and forth that South Carolina and LSU's had, and what Mulkey and Dawn Staley's had. This is going to be unbelievable. I cannot wait for that game. And you're talking about so many scenarios, so many storylines. I hope they hype that game tremendously so it can get the ratings that it deserves, because it's going to be fantastic. I've been watching Fulwiley since she was in the 7th grade. So the girl has been amazing for a long, long time. And then, the drama that happened with her leaving South Carolina and going to LSU, when it happened, I was like, no, any team other than LSU. And when it happened, I was like, oh my gosh, it's so terrible that the fan base is going to be torn, because I love Fulwiley. I love Lane. I love her. But she's the enemy now. So when she does those spectacular moves, I got to hold it inside. I can't let it go. But I just can't wait for that game. I hope everyone is healthy. I don't want no excuses on either side. I want to see terrific basketball. That's what I want. I don't want no craziness. I just want great basketball and see what happens. February 14th, I already told my wife, hey, we got to figure this thing out, because 8:30 p.m., we got to be watching some basketball, either in Baton Rouge or in a restaurant. Something's going down. So, I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And that's what look, Kim Mulkey's had such a great career, but if she's not on your team, she's the villain. Dawn Staley's kind of becoming that for a lot of people. And to me, that's what's making women's basketball so much better now. It's becoming more and more mainstream, because people are like, oh, choose a side, pick a side. And it's so the sport keeps growing, and it's awesome.
Yes.
We're talking with Will here. A quick Big Brother question, if I could. My wife and I became big fans of watching you and Keanu. Y'all were kind of our two that we loved.
Yeah.
You had an alliance you were working with. Yeah. Keanu was kind of on this island trying to survive. You may not have noticed it in the house, but since you've been out of the house, were you surprised how so many people attached to Keanu? Because it was like he was like the underdog, just trying to survive every week.
In the house, we didn't realize it. we thought that Keanu was America's villain in the house in terms of because it just the dynamic of the bubble that we lived in, the Big Brother house versus the real world is completely different. It was so crazy, like because Keanu and I were on opposite sides of the house. He had his people, I had my people. But when we actually got evicted and both of us went to the jury house, I think that's the most that we talked during the whole time. And I found out that he is a terrific person and he just was kind of misunderstood in the house socially. And but this is a competition-based game. Keanu won a lot of competitions. I told Keanu multiple times during the season, I say, dude, you're one of the best competitors that's ever been on Big Brother. And I know he's transitioning on to other competition-based games, and I wish him well. Crazy thing, we're doing like a celebrity fundraiser for charity in December, and Keanu and I are both going, and we're going to be like sweet mates or such. So it's like we're back together again, so to speak. So, but he's such a great person. He has a great family, and I hope that America, well, apparently with him winning America's favorite, they took him in because that's what I was worried about him in terms of being portrayed a certain way, and thank God he wasn't.
It's wild too, though. Like just from watching Big Brother, and I'm sure you know the game. Like how you could become you pick favorites, and sometimes they're on opposite sides. But like we're rooting for you, we're rooting for Keanu, and it's just wild that dynamic that you could have people on opposite sides, but you're like, no, I want him, I want him, I want him, and what I thought was cool with you was you just kept it real. I mean, I love the whole having to like kind of listen to people, but like mentally check out. And I was like, that's like us in our daily lives.
Chris, it was unbelievable. It was unreal because you are, and you have when you locked away with no phones, with no television, with no outside stuff, distractions, where everything is just conversations. And we talk about old school way where we actually having real conversations 24 hours a day. It gets overwhelming. And myself being the oldest one in the house and dealing with 10 out of the 17 house guests were 25 and under. So it was a lot of conversations that I did not want to be a part of because it just gets overwhelming. There's so many silly jokes that you go through, but it was a great experience. I wouldn't say anything negative about the experience itself. It was tremendous, but it was tough. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was tough, and you have to go to your happy place and try to find the joy at times. Because I did an interview prior to this interview. It was like, okay, I was there in the house for 66 days. And out of those 66 days, I was lonely every single day because I didn't have a person who I can actually have those, middle-aged conversations with. It was nobody my age, but you had the kids. They were out there sunbathing. They having a great time. They eating all the food they want. It was awesome for them. But I made it through the experience, and I thank God for CBS and Big Brother family.
And you broke that stigma too. The older people, they always want to get out early.
Yeah.
So you kind of just kept hanging around there.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex? Confidence, pure confidence. And if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rugiet Go Long. You've probably heard of products like Viagra or Cialis. Maybe you've even tried them, but if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it is time to meet Rugiet Go Long. That's exactly where they come in. Not just another ED pill. It is a total game changer for confidence. It combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in one dual-action formula, so you can go the distance. Effects can last up to 36 hours. That's confidence all day, all night, and even into the next day. And the process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, and if prescribed, your treatment ships discreetly right to your door. If prescribed, your treatment ships right there for you, ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom. Head to rugiet.com and use our promo code LOCKEDONCollege for 15% off your first order. That's rugiet.com, RUGIET, promo code LOCKEDONCollege. Make sure to use our code so they know that we sent you. This episode also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Look, we just ran through a lot of the games. We're running through them right now, and all of them are up there for you at FanDuel. Something for everybody. Of course, FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss right now. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. You pick a bet, you put down $5. If it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. You're going to love how simple it is. So many great things for you there on FanDuel. They got something for everybody. Of course, watching football even more exciting when you got a little something riding on the action. Whether you're a casual fan or you love diving into the stats, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com right now. Download the FanDuel app today and get started. If you've never signed up with them before, you'll take advantage of that great offer at FanDuel.com. Check them out today. All right, we're continuing our conversation with Will here from Big Brother 27. And Will, we're going to get into the picks here. How much football have you been able to watch since you've been out of the house?
I've been consuming as much as I can. I think I've watched, because I'm a Washington Commanders fan as well, so I watched 3 or 4 of their games. I watched 3 or 4 of South Carolina's games. And before we started this interview, I just finished up that debacle that happened against Vanderbilt. It's tough. It's tough because then I'm trying to watch some of the other games too, for like Clemson, and just trying to be abreast of everything. And I recorded everything on DVR, so I'm just going through all of it. So it's a task, but I'm loving every second of it because they took it away from me in the Big Brother house. So I just want all of it now.
That's my one reservation for ever applying for Big Brother is if they could move it up and finish it before football season. The fact it goes into football season, I'm like such a nut. I'd be going nuts. I'd be like, can somebody please tell me the score of this game? Like, I want to know what happened.
I was going crazy, bro. I was going insane. And for just missing almost half the season. It was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
But I'm back and I'm enjoying every minute of it now.
Well, let's take a look at our scoreboard. Jake Crane from Crane & Company. He's atop our scoreboard at 6-1. Holden Mayo, our guy from New Orleans, he was 6-1 last week. Ben Troop from Georgia rather, he was 5-2. Stingray was 5-2. Taylor Hicks from American Idol, 4-3. He's down there with our buddy Cam Vaughn from LSU at 4-3. So that's what you're competing against. So 6-1 or better will get you atop this leaderboard. So
let's do it.
Here's how we do it. There are actually 8 games in the SEC this week, but we'll only pick 7. So we're only going to do 7 picks, and this is super easy. No spreads. You're just picking winners. Whoever you think is going to win the game. So if you're ready, we will dive into it here, Will. And let's get started first. It is number 4, Texas A&M at 2-4 Arkansas.
Oh, that's easy. Texas A&M. Texas A&M going to blow them out. Easy.
Okay.
Easy.
Yeah, Marcel Reed's been playing very well for them. Mike Elko's off to a great start so far. So I think I'm with you. I think we'll probably stick with A&M there. Bobby Petrino is back to Arkansas head coach, by the way.
Insane.
Sam Pittman got fired. So it's like going in a time machine.
Yeah.
How about the early game on Saturday? Is number 10 LSU at number 17 Vanderbilt, who's having a great season. Diego Pavia is awesome.
That's so crazy. But it's hard to go against LSU. But Vanderbilt, they playing that old school version of football. We're going to run the ball a lot. We're going to drain the clock. We're going to play defense. Pavia is like 37 years old. This is I don't want to. I'm going to LSU. But I was close. I'm not going to lie. I was close to saying Vanderbilt. It might be their time, but I'm going LSU.
I think I'm going to stick with you. I know a ton of Cajuns who were making that trip to Nashville. They drank the stadium dry last time they went there, so we'll see. We'll see if they do it again. All right, how about number 16 Missouri at 3-3 Auburn? Hugh Freeze and Auburn are really struggling so far.
Auburn's going down. Hugh Freeze probably going to get fired. SEC, you have to win. But in college football, you have to win with James Franklin getting fired. That's crazy. Yeah, Auburn's going to lose.
Okay, we'll stick with you there on that one as well with Mizzou on the road. How about 4-2 Mississippi State at 2-4 Florida? Billy Napier is hanging on by a thread there at Florida.
I heard a rumor that Napier is going to get fired this weekend, and which bugs me out because you're going to coach this weekend, but then get fired. College football is crazy, and Billy Napier is a good coach, but Florida is just in disarray. So Florida's going down as well.
Hey, Will, the greatest job you can have in the country is fired football coach.
I know.
Those buyouts, yes. 20 million, 50 million. Come on.
Yes, insane how you get paid for the next 4 or 5 years, but you got fired at the job. Who the hell does that stuff? Come on.
Yep. Hey, my pride on the line. I'll be a fired coach. It's fine with me. Give me that. Yes. How about? It is number 14 Oklahoma at 3-3 South Carolina, your beloved Gamecocks.
That is huge for Oklahoma. going to South Carolina. You know, you got the storylines, Caleb Williams, Spencer Rattler, blah, 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 all these different things. But our offensive line is looking horrific. And we saw the firing of Lonnie Teasley, and it's not looking good for us right now. Yes, we're 3-3, but we're not an ascending 3-3. This, and it's tough to talk bad about my Gamecocks. I can't, but I got to keep it real. This is Captain Will. I have to keep it real. This game could get ugly on Saturday, and Oklahoma would not be. They could run the score up. The drama with Beamer and Oklahoma is a warm and fuzzy thing, but our offensive line sucks right now. So I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma by at least 2 touchdowns.
Okay. So we're just taking the winner. So you think Oklahoma's going? If this were a night game, Will at Williams-Brice, I might lean South Carolina. But the fact it's an early game, probably Oklahoma.
Yes, yeah.
Two more games here, the biggest ones of the weekend. How about number 5 Ole Miss at number 9 Georgia? Lane Kiffin undefeated so far.
That is crazy. And I haven't watched either team play just yet. I haven't got to that part yet. But for what I've been reading, I mean, Georgia is still always going to be Georgia, but Lane Kiffin with Ole Miss at number 5, that's unbelievable. That's crazy. Could this be the year that Ole Miss actually does ascend to the nationalship picture? And so far, I guess halfway during the season, they are. Are they playing at Georgia?
This is in Athens, yeah.
Oh, I'm going Georgia then. I'm going Georgia. Nah, they're not losing that game. Nah. Georgia got this one. It's going to be close,
Georgia,
though. I think it'll be close.
Georgia's one loss of the season was at home to Alabama. That's the only team that beats them in Athens in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
It's not going to be Ole Miss. No. I guess Ole Miss will come back down to reality on Saturday. So no.
I'm with you. All right, the last one is the 3rd Saturday of October. That means it is number 11 Tennessee at number 6 Alabama. Ooh. The Crimson Tide, they lost week 1 to Florida State. It was a debacle, Will. But since then, they've been red hot, beating ranked team after ranked team after ranked team.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I've never been a fan of Tennessee, and I'm never going to be a fan of Tennessee. But I will say Alabama's going to win this basketball game. So I'm already thinking about basketball, this football game. Alabama's Alabama, and it's halfway during the season. They will turn it up, and they will do well. And I think I'm gonna go undefeated with all these picks today. So.
Hey, if you're 7-0, you will be you'll be the top of our leaderboard, and we'll have a special prize for you at the end of the season.
Thank you.
So we will certainly get you that. He is, of course, Will from Big Brother 27. You can follow him on social media at Gamecocks Talk on Twitter, at Captain Will the OG on Instagram, and let everybody know, man, your sports podcast, and you even got a podcast going with the wife here too, right?
Yeah. So everybody follow my Gamecock Talk with Captain Will on YouTube. It's doing great. Make sure you check that out. My wife and I, we got a relationship podcast that's going to be dropping today, as a matter of fact, called Steady Love. It's been a great journey, and just continue to support me. Thank you for everyone who supported me on Big Brother. And if you have not watched Big Brother, check it out on Paramount Plus. Have a good time with that, and go Gamecocks.
Well, last thing, how much did the wife miss you when you got home?
Oh my God, it was tremendous. It was unbelievable. She jumped in my arms when I saw her in LA. It was amazing. Being away from your spouse for that long without any type of contact is an emotional experience, and I love that girl to death.
I love it, man. The relationship advice from that podcast is going to be phenomenal. Will, can't thank you enough, man. Thanks so much for the time, and we'll do it again real soon, all right?
I appreciate you, Chris. Thank you so much, man.
All right, thanks to Will from Big Brother 27. Thank you guys for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Reminder to check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and, of course, on the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network there for you. I'm Chris Gordy. Have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy SEC Week 8. We'll talk to you guys on Monday right here on Locked On SEC.